Venture capital is this very special part of the economy. It's capital that is invested in the earliest stages of companies that have massive, massive ambition.
The everyday investor may not realize that venture capital has had a significant influence on companies that they have heard about or maybe even use every day.
If you look at public companies,
These are companies like Microsoft or Yahoo or Amazon.
Companies like Uber, Slack, Google, Apple.
These are all venture-backed stories. It's really the engine of the economy.
And venture capital comes in at that very early stage when the companies are just getting off the ground to give them the capital, the money to get started. So as an investor, you have a potential of joining companies that could absolutely change the world.
Typically, you make money by investing in the company when it's really small, and as it becomes more valuable, you get a return.
Venture capital has historically been an asset class that's really only been accessible to large institutions and extremely wealthy investors.
It's really been kind of the purview of college endowments and billionaires.
Then they wrote big checks to get into these venture funds.
The sort of individual investor has never really had a way to participate at a professional level in the asset class.
What we've tried to do here is make that asset class available to regular people.
We enabled individual accredited investors to put a part of their portfolio to work in venture capital, just like investors in that endowment and institutional space.
Enormous value creation is being generated before the public markets, in the private markets, which is where venture capital investing occurs.
That's been going to the people who've invested in venture capital, which are the endowments, the pension funds, the billionaires. The big money has really benefited from wringing the value out of the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
So the individual investor historically has been missing out on enormous return potential in their investments.
People own public stocks, they own some real estate, they own some fixed income. Venture capital, in our opinion, should be part of that diversification story. I started the business basically to bring venture capital portfolios to individuals. We
democratized access to venture capital.
That concept is really the principles that Alumni Ventures was founded on. We are bringing professional grade venture capital portfolios to the individual investor and making that accessible to them at relatively small minimum check sizes.
We've worked really hard to make the minimums to invest in a diversified portfolio as low as we can. You don't have to be Mark Cuban to have a venture portfolio anymore.